Hi, Kevin Proto here with Locals Supporting Locals for another Heartbeat of the Okanagan. We wrapped up a meeting that took place on August 19th, 2016 in Skaha Park, and it was a meeting to update everybody on the second lawsuit that has now been filed against the city of Penticton. It's very important for people to watch this in full because Nelson Meikle will put forward why. And earlier that day, we also recorded the Save Skaha Park Society video press conference. And it's important for people to know that they are two separate groups, two separate lawsuits here. And we've been following this since the start of it last year. And it's created a lot of division in our community here in regards to people either being pro-water slide, pro-tourism for the kids, or you're old and you don't want to see change. And that's not the case whatsoever. And if you're not aware of who we are with Locals Supporting Locals, you can visit our YouTube channel, just click on the video, subscribe, and we'll keep you updated as well. Go to our website, localsupportinglocals.ca or .com, and you can follow us on there. Just click the follow button. And so you'll be updated on what's taking place here. So watch this video in full. It's very important, and to share it with everybody. And again, we will keep you updated. Thank you.
So good evening, and thanks very much for attending. My name is Nelson Meikle. This is an information meeting only to update and answer Penticton residents' questions on saving Skaha Park from all commercial development. I've been in Penticton residence for over 20 years as a retired businessman, and I was trained by large corporations like International Trucks, John Deere Equipment, Cal Tire, Case Equipment, Finnick Tractor Equipment, Western Pacific Bank, and several other companies, including my own companies with business partners. We are very open to discussing Skaha Park issues with anyone. That includes the Skaha Park, Save Skaha Park Society, as well as other city issues that's going to come up. Everybody's talking about many other issues, and we're going to tackle them, but we can only do one at a time so that they're done correctly. We have available from our different group members in the audience or at the front table a contact sheet to leave us your contact information, or you may contact us through pentictoncares@gmail.com. That's pentictoncares@gmail.com. And we welcome everybody, and we will return any questions asked of us. We believe as a group in transparency being number one, nothing else. And we want Penticton residents to help us save Skaha Park from commercial development. That's the main thing right now. I'm the one that put my name on the number 2 legal action, civic action against the city in July 28th, I think it was. And things have been happening so fast since then, you'd never believe it. We have laws in this great country to protect us and our assets, like Skaha Park, and everyone must adhere to them, including the city of Penticton. I have waited over 10 months to bring the Skaha Park issue to a conclusion, but nothing seems to be taking place. Therefore, in early July, with the helping hand of several concerned citizens, we decided we could no longer wait, as a new agreement and extension must be signed, and I say that again, must be signed, between City and Trail Marine in late September 2016. I believe it's the 27th, 28th, something like that. So I commenced our own Supreme Court civil claim. It is to get all commercial developments out of the park and keep it the way it is today. I've received many phone calls. I've received many phone calls and emails on this suit, and I intend to take it to the end, no matter what. I can guarantee to everybody there, that's my pledge. recently, when I filed my claim on, I think it's the 28th of July, about 10 days ago, so you understand the laws, the Supreme Court rules. The Supreme Court rules say that within 21 days when you've been served with a civil claim, you have to respond. If you don't respond, then there's such a thing called a default judgment that the plaintiff can apply for. And I would do that. And I believe the city knows that because I've had some run-ins with them before on it, on different ways. So they hired a Victoria lawyer. I've got the data here, etc. And 2 weeks ago today, I'm going to say, he called me and asked me if I would, if he give him the courtesy of a month longer than the 21 days. And I said, no, I'm not going to. I told him I'll give him 10 days more, and that's August 31st. That's it. So he agreed to that. He sent me an email and also a fax letter. I signed it, sent it back to him. Sometime this last week, I got a call from a litigation lawyer named Robinson in Kelowna on behalf of Trio Marine. He wanted 30 days. I said no. He said, well, give me till the middle of September. I said no. I said, you're going to get the same courtesy as I gave the lawyer in Victoria, and that is the end of the month, have it delivered to me. That's it. So people, that's where it sits today, and I'm going to push it all the way, and that's the dates it's set. And once I get this, after myself and our group review it, which will probably take us 2 or 3 days, then we will act on it in early September, whichever way we figure we have to. And the only thing that we are after is a public referendum. So you guys get your voice heard. So both the lawyers have agreed to that. So that's their time frame. I've also taken upon myself to send a letter in, which would be 10 days ago, I'm going to guess, to a gentleman here. He's the CAO, which stands for Chief Administration Officer of the City of Penticton. And I said that I would be prepared to extend my actions against the city once we get the responses to the end of 2016 being, I think it's the 30th. The 31st is, I think, a Saturday. However, the city has got to agree before that takes place that they will not sign any additional agreements with Trio, which are due next month, or any extensions. No signatures whatsoever. And I'm going to stick to that basis also. Now, further to that, last Friday, I think it was, and my dates are all around my head, so don't hold me to them. He sent me an email, and the email pretty well said that they reviewed it, talked about it. They have to get legal advice before they can respond. Well, I didn't know legal advice took over a week, but anyways, I did not get anything as of this afternoon at 4 o'clock when I was on my email. So we'll go from there. And if not, I got plan 2 in place already, I can tell you. And all that is to get both sides time to work this thing out. And all I'm asking for on your behalf is a definite date for a public referendum and the wording to be correct. So we know what we're voting on. Simple as that. Earlier today, I attended the society's meeting that they had published or they had put together yesterday. Out of that, there was a few things that bothered me, but I'm not going to get into them because I haven't reviewed it all yet. They did say that they had submitted a referendum. I'm going to call it a draft to City Council, but I believe it might have been turned down, but I don't have any other information on that whatsoever at this time. However, when I got home, on my email, people probably don't know him, but know her, but her name is Dana Schmidt. She's the City of Penticton corporate officer. She's in charge of Freedom of Information requests. It's very important that you get the right data before you move forward. Last year, I filed a few Freedom of Information requests. That book right there contains documents from the city, and it's very thorough. And that's just up to last August. Okay, now, my Freedom of Information that I filed in late June, I think it was the 21st, I had trouble getting it from Dana. I sent her 2 letters, 3 emails. Finally this afternoon, she sent me an email, something was ready. So, this afternoon at about 3:30, this was my present. Anybody want to read them while I'm not talking? So I got a nice weekend of reading ahead of me. So that should cover from August till June 2016. I don't know if there's a lot more to be said. Where to put my letter here? Okay, I want to clear the air in regards to the word referendum, public referendum. If you go into the bylaws, etc., you're not going to find the word referendum. But don't be scared off. When I use the word referendum, it refers to, I'm referring to the Community Charter of British Columbia, Division 2, Section 84 through 88, and 175 sub 2. And if anybody wants to look at the stuff, I've got copies here, or I can show them a copy up here tonight. And that is partial off the word referendum. I'm also referring to the Local Government of British Columbia Act, Section 169 through 171. And that put together can be concluded as the word referendum. But you won't find the word referendum in the bylaws, etc., that I've been able to. So yeah, I think our lawsuit, I think it's at paragraph 66 or something, we lay that out. We don't go after a referendum, we lay out the legal parts of it, but that becomes a referendum. So everybody's clear on that. So this information meeting is about public referendum only. It's to save this park, Skaha Park, our park. We have available for all the attendees free copies through email of both lawsuits. The Kamloops lawsuit, which is about 11 pages long, and has about 4 case laws in them, and a lot of people want to know what I'm talking about, but that's the important stuff. Where ours is, I think it's 37 pages long, and has 32 to 35 case laws in it. So we go a lot deeper, and you have to. You got to break it down item by item and substantiate that with case law. And that's what we've done. So the only other thing I'll really say is as a member of SSPS, the society, I suggested, and it was in the newspaper, that about a month ago, that the society who I donated the first $40 to the legal fund last year, and added to it since then. But anyways, I stated to them in the newspaper that I would like them to take and pay for 50% off the $35,000 that the city estimates is going to cost for a public referendum out of our membership fund, legal fund. They paid $17,000 to a lawyer in Kamloops, so why not take $17,500 out of the legal fund, because it's to settle this issue, save Skaha Park. So let's get on with it. I have yet to hear back from them. That's why I paid my money. I don't know about you people, but I want this thing settled, and settled fast. There's a few other things that they've refused to reply to in my mind, but that's besides the point. Since my lawsuit has been filed, one of our associates has tried to sit down. We sat down once with him. We waited 4 days to them to get back with some other answers, and have a meeting with myself and himself and a couple other of our group members. That has not materialized in the month of August whatsoever. But I assure you people, if they would come forward and say, let's all get in the same ball game together, I'd be sitting at that table with them playing ball. No problem whatsoever. The only other thing I'll say at this time is, Cliff will talk further here on it, I believe. We might have to have another city rally here to get the point across the city mayor and council, and we are prepared to do that if that's necessary.
Yes.
And at this time, we're going on a public referendum for Save Skaha Park. But our group intends to follow up on other areas that we believe, and you citizens write into the newspaper about, that are being incorrectly done in our beautiful town of Penticton. And we will do it. Okay, this is information only, and I'm not giving anybody legal advice, because I don't want the Law Society after my butt. Simple as that. Not that I care. Cliff, where are you? Okay. All yours.
Yeah, I'm Cliff Martin. If anybody wants to sign for other issues against the city, I want to try to bring together maybe some of the magazines nationally to try to bring what's going on with the city. I think we've got a rogue mayor and council, and we need to address this rogue mayor and council. If anybody wants to sign or add their email to here, we can put this. We'll get a hold of you, and parking meters and all the rest of that as well. And I'd like a big round of applause for Nelson and all his effort. I get stage fright from the microphone, so I'll give this to somebody else.
Oh, you're finished? Okay.
Here's Hannah Montana.
Who all knows who Cliff is? Can I see your hands? Cliff is a young man who last year was so concerned about what was going on what was being done to this park that he had an ad in the paper, and with his little girl, he gave up. Oh, I know he get embarrassed about this, but he gave up so many nights and days of his time and money because he really cares. He's very humble about it, but we really can thank Cliff for rallying us together, and that's what we need. We need to get together to show that we're strong, that we have convictions. We need to get together regularly. And Cliff, I just know that you love this city, you love democracy. I wish he would just tell you how much he cares, but meet him and talk to him, and maybe he'll write us another few articles in the paper, but I really appreciate Cliff. And this guy, Nelson, too.
Okay, it's your turn. Bring me the questions. I'll try to answer them.
Question.
Yes.
If the defendants do not get back to you by the end of August,
Yes.
do they go into default?
With the rule of the court usually is you got to give them a couple of days. So I say 3 days is my magic number. And in that 3 days, what will most likely happen is we will file what's called a application to a judge. And it's only a 2-page deal. And it will be filed in what courts they call the Supreme Court, British Columbia, but in chambers. And chambers hearings has got to be 45 minutes or less, but it can get heard within a 2-week period here in Penticton usually, unless the judges are all sick. And at that time, we would bring that application to a judge to get a default judgment. Let me say to you people, once a default judgment is issued by Judge A, it is very highly unlikely that any other judge will overrule that ruling, that judgment, without having seen an error in law. Okay? So it's an error in law where the judge that gave it to you in chambers faulted somewhere in law. And that would probably end up going to the BC Court of Appeal. And I can tell you people right now, that's the next step above the Supreme Court. And I've been there, and I'm prepared to take this there too.
One more question.
Yes.
With regard to the freedom of information, being that Penticton sent you the documentation, is there a limit or is there a maximum amount of days she can basically get away with without giving that information to you, or is it a 30-day period?
Okay, this gentleman is talking about the freedom of information, how it works. I've done many for many government agencies as James Miller, whoever's here, he's here somewhere, he's done many too. What takes place is after you file it, it's not classified as day one until the next day. Then the government agencies under the federal guidelines and the provincial guidelines, the provincial municipal guidelines have 30 business days. That's important because your 30 business days is not calendar days. So therefore holidays are out, Saturday or Sundays are out. So anybody that's filing a freedom of information with any government agency, and that's the only ones it applies to, consider 45 days as being the time period, and you'll get your answer then. Now, at the end of the 45 days, if you don't get it, however you want to go, it's your discretion, and you can go to the commissioner off that freedom of information and make a complaint. That's going to take you another 6 months, I can tell you that. So you're better off working it out. Now, before the 30 business days is up, I missed this one, they can ask you on day 20 or close to that for an extension because there's too much documentation to go through. I strongly suggest to everybody that does one of these that they give them that extension, because if not, I found out and other people found out, then the commissioner is going to use that door and say, no, you didn't give them the 30 days, so we're not getting involved. Does that answer your question, sir?
Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, what would happen if we would go around Penticton, all of us, and get a signature for him to resign now? Like, right now. We don't want him anymore.
Okay.
We paying taxes and we have some rights.
Okay. At this stage, I believe they're talking about recall. And at this stage, my understanding, and I have not studied it, and none of us really have, So I'm just guessing here, my opinion only. There's no legal recall for municipalities at this time. However, that doesn't mean to say in 5 years from now, we're not going to have one. So if you people want one, we'll get in the bandwagon after this is over, and we'll do something about it.
I would say, let's sign, even if he doesn't resign, let's sign on Penticton. I'm willing to go around the houses and ask them to sign it. If it's other people, then we do it.
It's your city, you can do what you want with it. And if you want to put that forward, I'm sure people would be happy to work with you, etc. I'm sorry, but my plate is full.
You're doing good.
Next question. Sorry? This man right here. Okay, let me tell you this man, to be honest, so you don't think I'm a millionaire or a billionaire. Okay? The only thing that's required for anybody in this place for a lawsuit is the filing fee. And you know what that filing fee is? $200. Okay? I paid it. I don't want anybody else, because then I'm not accounting to anybody else. That's the reason it was done that way. However, I am very, very, very grateful to the people I have behind me and helping me out. Okay? Including Clifford, Hannah, Helen, we keep going. Okay? So, that's all it is. Now then, the next step is you got to have some upper brain cells, I guess I'd say, to be able to go through it as it goes through. Okay? I'm very lucky that a good personal friend of mine, who is helping, and many people here have met him, is preparing all the paperwork, like my 37 pages or whatever it's in, and will be with us until the very end at zero cost. And I will be funding the paperwork, which is next to near nothing. I will be representing you people under my name in court. And I've been there, done that, not concerned about it. At one time I told a judge in the Supreme Court in Kelowna that he worked for me. He didn't think he did that. And I said, well, Your Honor, where do you get your paycheck from? And he said, well, I get it from Victoria. I said, if I pay my taxes, you work for me. Next question.
By the way, the mayor is the civil servant, and he works for us.
You got that right.
You wouldn't know it.
Gentleman over here had a question. Gentleman over here had a question. There he is.
May I define the mayor and council as temporary voluntary servants of the people in this meeting?
You sure can.
I said temporary voluntary servants.
I agree. The lady right there.
Just a question, what is stopping Trio from coming in and wiping this out without all of this class action? Is there something that is holding them back?
Okay.
Are the legal actions that are against them stopping them from bringing in their backhoes and knocking us down?
There's a couple of things, and I've got it all in here. Or not all of it, but some of it. Number one is they haven't signed the agreement on this piece of property. The only agreement that is in place right now is there. Now and I want to correct one thing. You used the word class action lawsuit. That is not correct. Okay? A class action lawsuit means that you people, if you're all involved in it, you put your name on it. The problem you've got with class action lawsuits is if one piece of documentation that Mary puts in, or Jane puts in, or Nelson puts in, that's incorrect, then the judge can throw the whole thing out, and we've lost everything. So you go in, one person at a time, or a corporation, or whatever. Now let me share one, so that's the difference. But No, they cannot at this time. That's why I'm saying I sent the letter. Don't sign any more documents if you want to dance with me till December 30th.
And if they sign those documents, then what?
I have a plan before that date comes up, ma'am. I'm already thinking that.
If I could just read it to you.
Okay, just let me finish. Okay, any other questions here? Okay, let me show you a little bit of tidbit information that I got. Backed up 110%. Oh, sorry. Hello, hello. Okay, if you look at this cement building over there, okay, you see that nice red pole with the light on the back of it? Nice, hanging up real high. If you want to go over that walkway at the end of the building, walk across a little bridge, one of our group people found the surveyor's stake. It's in a cement block with a zinc or whatever in there. And if you look further, you'll notice that that cement building is 50% on land owned by the city of Penticton, 50% on land owned by the province of British Columbia. Now, in my complaint I put into the Liquor Control Board, which is still active, and I'm having some fun with the province of British Columbia on that, but we won't get into that today. The liquor that's being sold out of that building is being sold on the province of British Columbia land, not the city of Penticton land, and they do not have a business license from the province of British Columbia to do that. Okay, and I can add to that. Last year, we found out that they, in March, I'm going to say, Trio got a business license for a marina only. I became aware of it in the middle of July, I'm going to say. I went after the city in regards to having a restaurant license because they had applied for a liquor license from the BC government, but it's called a food and beverage license. You cannot serve liquor at that establishment without having a restaurant license. They didn't have it. I forced them into getting one, and I'm going to say the date was August 4th. So therefore, it doesn't take long to figure it in your minds. From the month of about the 19th, 20th of June, 2015, until August 3rd, which is my birthday, they saw, 2015, they were selling liquor illegally in that building. Sorry? Well, I hope this week coming that I'll be sitting down with Mayor Ashton, but I don't, or not Mayor Ashton, sorry, with MLA Ashton. However, he was the mayor that started this, and I got the email in there to prove it. Okay? Like, I know what I'm doing, people. And I can back it up what I'm saying. And I'm going to say that there's probably a dozen people, there's 4 of those books been issued, they've been printed by me, and I know where they all are, and I've shared them with the society, just viewing them. That's as far as it went. And I made the commitment in late 2015 or early 2016, if they wanted their lawyer in Kamloops to review that, I'd be more than happy, no cost to them. I would drive up to Frame's office in Kamloops and share it with them. Nobody has taken me up on that offer yet. Okay, next questions.
So what do you want us to do?
Be good people.
Too late, we already are.
Ask me if we have a rally, how many people here will show up?
My comment, I'll go back. I knew that would come out of from somebody. Everybody probably here knows a gentleman named Jimmy Patterson. Okay? Jimmy Patterson said before many times, he said, if you're a businessman, one of the things you never want to do if you're in business is run for a political office, because you will lose your business and many other things. That's why Jimmy Patterson, when he was asked to look after the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, he said, I'll do it for $1. Okay? Would I run for mayor? The answer is no. James Miller asked that same question today at a meeting with Jake Kimberley. And I think it was something to the words were said, presently, I'm not looking at running for mayor again. But my answer is outright N-O-O-O-O. And I'm not going to be councilman neither. I guarantee that. Okay.
This lady back here asked what we should do. I just say think back to the 50s about the song. This land is your land. This land is my land, and it belongs to us. And we got to let these people know that we're not going to let them take it away from us.
Very good, very good, very good. And that gentleman there, I think. Oh, did you have a question? Oh, you're just pointing it. Sorry. Okay.
Over there.
I could say thank you.
Okay, I had another question over here somewhere.
Over there.
Oh, way over there. Okay.
Should I be prepared to chain myself to a tree?
Can you repeat the question?
I cannot tell you to go chain yourself to a tree because I might be breaking the law, so I won't go there. But everybody's got their own minds. Do what you have to protect that tree. Okay.
Another rally and bring your friends.
Cliff asked the question, and now Helen brought it up again. If we were to have a rally in early September, okay, how many people here with a show of hands would show up to support us?
Along with all your friends.
Keep them up. Keep them up.
Oh, I better put my hand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything else I can help you people with? Yes.
Nelson, if we as a community lobby to the mayor with support of signed letters saying we would like you to resign, we would have no power. It would be up to him to either deny or accede to that.
At this time in game, I believe you're right. Okay, but I have not, again I say, I have not studied it. Oh, he said if we as a group, or all of us here, wanted the mayor to resign, could we write letters and ask him to resign, etc.? And, am I right, sir? Yeah. And I say I've never researched it, so I really can't answer, but the best of my knowledge, talking to different people, at this time there's no recall notice, I should say notice, there's no recall available at this time. So if we want it for the municipal governments here in town, we got to push it to get it. Yes, Lynn Kelsey.
So being you go to every council meeting you possibly can, you know that I do go to every council meeting.
Right on.
And one of the things you can do is go to council meetings and get the information, because so many times things will come up immediately at council, like our $85,000 citizen engagement. And not one citizen was engaged. Not before they brought it to council, not even with the whole bunch of people that were actually sitting at council that night. They didn't talk to anybody. And then when I asked to ask one question just after press had done, I got told by the mayor, we've already disbanded. My comment was so much for citizen engagement. It doesn't happen here, as we know when we saw the rallies before this went through. Be active. Write letters to the paper. Be respectful when you do. I can guarantee you Max Pitton will not read them. But everybody else has said that they do. So, but write letters to the newspaper. Write letters to the mayor. Write letters to the council members. If you don't write to them directly and just expect them to read the paper, they're not going to. Okay? And they're not going to take it as personal. Write them, phone them, email them. The best thing you can do is just like cover their desks in paper with letters.
Right on. Now let me...
I know it seems like a long time, but it's going to be 2 years. You have another chance. Next time, let's get it right and be involved.
Okay, let me say one other thing on her back. If we see things are going sideways, which I don't suspect they will, I have a friend and myself will run this court case that I filed on your behalf into that next election. I can guarantee you that.
On behalf of everyone here, thank you from the bottom of our heart for all your efforts on our behalf.
Thank you very much. I guess the other thing I should thank very much, besides you people coming and attending and putting your time and effort into it, is my wife sitting over there, my daughter sitting over there, my son-in-law sitting over there, and the guy in the blue shirt is what I'm doing this for. He's my 12-year-old grandson, and he's my buddy. Thank you, buddy. So I do it for him and all the other children in this town. Yes,
We
Lynn.
made a request of any of the council to bring this back to the table. I'm sure you don't.
No, I have not, because I'm waiting for a response, etc. I move slow, but sure, as people that knows me. I don't do a lot of talking, but when I do the talking, I back it up with facts.
Well, we have 3 council members here tonight, and I really hope that they're hearing all of you people speak
Well,
loud. Bring them up. Bring them up.
Here's Hannah to talk again. I won't take any more of your time, but thank you very, very much for attending. This is a good show, and we all appreciate it from our group, but let's save Skaha Park.
It's so wonderful to see you people. I'm so encouraged. And please share with all the members of Saving Skaha Park that Nelson and anybody who's been backing him up, we want to work together. Be assured of that. We want to work together, and you're in good hands with Nelson. And Lynn was mentioning when you communicate with the mayor or the council members, a good idea is to send yourself or maybe our address here, like Penticton Cares at gmail.ca? .com. Okay, let's get that right. Penticton Cares at gmail.com. Penticton Cares at gmail.com. BCC that to yourself or to that address, and then the council can't say they only got 5 letters, because we'll have a record of the fact that they got 500 letters. You get it? Okay, you BCC it to that address, pentictoncares.com. And remember, we want to work together with everybody who cares. And yeah, go to the council meeting, see what's going on. We've got a good group of people that write letters in the paper that are watch people. We need watch people. So Lynn says help her. She does go, and so does Nelson. Thank you, everybody.
I want to thank you again very, very, very much, and you will be hearing from us. Again, my name is Nelson Miko, and we will try the hardest we can to bring this to a closure as fast as we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.